Joining me now is Cindy Baucom, the owner of GoPro Tax and Accounting on Main Street in Shallotte. Thanks so much for being with us, Cindy.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so it's that time of year, tax time. Everybody is filing, gathering everything together. And you have opened this location on Main Street very recently. Tell me about your background in GoPro Tax and Accounting.
Well, I've been doing taxes and accounting work since 1980. We started off in Concord, North Carolina, moved to Salisbury, and now we're here. So we've got a group of followers that we've been able to help over the years. We have clients from Alaska to California to Texas to Colorado. We have a couple in New York and Florida, as well as Georgia and North Carolina.
So all over.
All over.
What are some of the common questions that people have when it comes to tax and accounting?
What can I take off my taxes? That's the number one question. We have a list, depending on your industry, what you do. We have a list of things that you can take off. One of the things I like to do with my clients is sit down with them for about an hour and just go over what they spend money on. How can we plan to set up their situation, their business, their personal finances so that they can get the best bang for their buck, take off the most that is legitimately tax deductible.
So many accountants, they do, of course, filing and all that, the like, but you do tax planning, which is very important, and that helps people get the most when it comes to their refund.
Yes. Most CPAs, accountants, tax people are really good about recording history. But what we try to do is we do the recording of the history, but we look at it toward the future. How can we help you better set up your situation so that in the future you pay less taxes?
So somebody can come in and file their taxes for 2017, but then you also get them ready for this year's taxes.
Correct. We've got the new tax laws coming out, and most people, it's a 5,000 sheet page of tax laws that you've got to figure out what the heck they're saying. Even I have a hard time. I think I'm on page 300 of the laws right now. So, unless you've got somebody that's studying it, knows what they're doing, you're not going to know what you can take off. And if you don't start planning now, December 31st is too late.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot for somebody to decipher, but
Yes.
you know the tax laws and can help people get through them and help them get their best bang for their buck.
Yeah. I like to say, well, when was the last time your tax person came to you and asked you or told you that they had an idea of how they could save you some money?
Right.
Most tax people don't do it.
And you also do business planning. So if somebody's trying to start a business, you can help them get through those tax codes and help them navigate that.
Yeah, decide how to set up your business so it's the best bang for you, whether you need to keep some income in your personal side or if you want more income on the business side, how to get it set up legally so you don't get yourself in trouble with the IRS.
All right, Cindy, is there anything that people need to know about this year? Anything unique that you want to highlight?
This year is pretty much the same as last year. There's a few changes. The exemptions have changed. Things always increase a little bit. The price that we get to take off for our miles went down this year, which is kind of a bummer. But that's the way it works, I guess. I guess they think it costs less money to drive our cars now. I'm not sure that's correct, but that's what they say.
Because that has a lot to do with gas prices
Yes,
and
sir.
things like that.
Yes, sir.
Cindy, if somebody is looking to get their taxes filed, what are some things that they need to know about, fees? I'm sure that's on their mind, and dates, important dates for them to know.
Well, that's a good question because there has been some changes. In 2016, they changed the due dates for businesses. If you're a partnership or a S Corp, your taxes are now due March 15th, excuse me. If you're a corporation, your taxes are now due April 15th with the individuals. So that definitely has changed. Some of the things you need to know is that you've got to make sure that you get your tax person a copy of your driver's license and Social Security card. One of the things people miss is if they had a birthday and got a new driver's license, they forget to update it. And we are required to have those in our presence so that we can verify your identity. We would hate for somebody to file your taxes and get your refund.
Okay, this year, 2018, 4th through 2017 taxes is April 18th because the 15th
because the
falls
15th is holiday.
on a holiday. Okay,
Yes.
so that's important to know. Buys you a couple of extra days, but still, it's good to be on top of it.
Yeah, but you don't want to wait till the last minute.
That's right.
The IRS has a bottleneck. It seems like every year, the last date, I will file, 20 tax returns the last day, and 2 or 3 will fall off to the next day just because they can't handle the extra transmissions.
I don't know, everybody wants to get their refund as soon as they can, too. So that's another bonus of
But
trying
if
to
you're
get it
not
filed.
sure and you think you're going to have to pay, please come and see your tax person right away. Because even though you think you might have to pay, if we can at least figure out how much you might have to pay, that gives you some time to figure out other things. You do have some time to put some money in a retirement account that you could help offset your taxes for the prior year. So don't wait till after April 15th because you're kind of locked. There's nothing more we can do.
You don't want to hit those penalties and things like that.
And it's a daily penalty.
Ooh.
So you really want to make sure you get it filed.
So which day do people need to get their information to you? Which would you
I
recommend?
like at least a week, if not 2. There's a lot of tax people that sit down with you and put your information in the computer right there with you in front of them. All they are doing is data processing. What we do is we take your information, we do enter it into the accounting system, but we also review it. We try to find other things. In some places, like for education, there's 3 different places on the tax form you can put it. So I need time to try your taxes with all 3 options to see which gives you the better option, which gives you the better refund.
So that's good to know that you not only process that information, but you analyze it and make sure people get the most
That's our
back.
goal. We want you to pay the least amount of taxes legally that you're required to pay. It's we act like it's our money. A lot of people just throw it in and say, well, it's how it ever falls. But that's not how we do it. After we finish your tax returns, we're on the phone with you saying, okay, right now it shows that you owe X. Let's come up with some more expenses. You must have missed something. Your health expenses are too low. Your donations are too low. Did you do anything with goodwill? Some things that people say, well, I don't have a receipt. Well, receipt is not necessarily needed at all times. There's certain situations where a receipt is not necessary.
Okay.
So there's things that you can talk with your tax person about those. And that will help offset any tax liability that you might have.
Wow. So Cindy, tell me, how much have you saved your clients this tax season?
Well, just since October, we had one client we saved almost $30,000 for.
Wow.
But in general, we usually save about $50,000 a year for our clients.
Wow.
Between putting things in the right place, reviewing prior tax returns that might have been lacking, fixing other tax people's mistakes. We do a lot of that. We've had a lot of that here for some reason. We try to help people every way we can.
And another way that you do that is through classes and seminars. I know you have some seminars in the works. Tell our viewers about that.
Well, we try to do educational courses, seminars. They're usually about an hour, first thing in the morning before you go to work, or maybe during lunch. We have some on Saturday. And we just go over different things. The one that we're working on right now is 10 of the things that people miss on their taxes. Some of the most unusual tax deductions that people can take off that they may not know. For example, our military. They're the only ones that can take off a haircut.
Wow.
But they forget to give us the price of their haircuts.
And that, when you get a haircut especially military, every couple of times a month, that adds up.
Yes. And there's other situations that people have tax deductions depending on their industry or career that others don't. Another one that I like to ask people about, because we're also notaries here, and I also am a notary instructor. So I ask my students, are you paying self-employment tax on your income as a notary? Which they're not supposed to. It's exempt. And most people say 100% of your self-employment is taxed at self-employment. That's 15% savings right there.
Wow. Is there anything else that you want to add about taxes? One thing I did want to ask about is retirees. We have a lot of those retirees moving down here, perhaps some that are newly retired and moved down to the coast. What do they need to know?
Well, there's a couple of different things that they need to know. Depending on how their retirement plan is situated, they need to know that they can put money into it up to April 15th if they have a tax liability, which will give them a credit. for 2017.
Okay.
So that's another nice thing. One reason why you need to have your taxes done in a timely manner is to give you the opportunity to do that, to put money into your retirement account. We also need to talk to younger people about retirement accounts. There are so many options out there, depending on what your goal is, that may or may not work with you. One of the retirement accounts we like to suggest for our clients is the self-directed IRA. And the reason is you can buy rental houses with it, and you can also buy tax liens with it, which guarantee 18% interest. And you can't get that on stock market.
That's such good information to know. Thank you so much for being with us here on Brunswick Biz. Where can our viewers find you? Website, phone number, things like that.
Okay. Our website is go-proinc.com, and that's the little hyphen between the go and the pro. Our phone number is 910-805-1458. We're located at 5285. We've just moved here in October, so forgive me. Unit 3, Main Street, in Shallotte.
Okay, that's Shallotte Station, across from Tractor Supply and near Food Line.
Yes, yes,
okay,
sir. Yes, sir.
give me those southern directions, as
Yes.
they call them.
Yes, or feminine. Women like to know locations. Men like streets.
Okay, thank you so much, Cindy, for being with us. It
Oh,
was a
thank you
pleasure.
so much. I enjoyed it. Appreciate it.